Oof. Episode number 9 of Bel-Air. Can't knock the hustle. This was, this episode was bad. And some of the most questionable writing I have seen as of yet on this show. But let's get into it. Episode 9, Bel-Air, Can't Knock the Hustle. So we start out the week's episode with kind of a holdover from last week when Will had, or the week before, I don't know, this shit runs together like Batwoman now. Will had gone to Jeffrey and asked him to find out about his dad. He wanted to know. And this week, Jeffrey comes back to him when Will asks Jeffrey about it. Jeffrey's like, yeah, actually, we're going to be on Maury next week. We have a couple guys, and we'll find out who the dad is.
You are not!
Then the Banks family's getting ready to go to church because Phil needs more voters. It's funny because they even make a point, we haven't seen you around here in a while. It's like, they don't normally go to church. But, of course, Phil is a politician, and he will get votes by any means necessary. So they decide to go to the church to try to see what they can bleed out of there. Phil had recently reconnected with the pastor, who was Yamakra, their fraternity brothers. So he asked him, are you going to mobilize the vote? And they, of course, make allusions to the imaginary voter suppression in black communities that the Democrats would claim there is. Phil's like, are you going to mobilize the vote bus and, have everybody laughable? Because, he's only in it for votes. But Carlton is supposed to be singing a solo. And, of course, he's going to choke. He's not going to sing but well. He chokes.
I'm not gay no more. 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 I am delivered. I'm delivered. I don't like men no more. I said I like women. I said I like women. Women.
And it's funny because on the outside, Hillary runs into another social media influencer who has like 10 million followers, and Hillary asks her for a collaboration, and it's like somebody my size going to like a 1 million subscriber channel and be like, hey, do you want to collaborate? And they're just like,
you are one pathetic loser.
The number of followers automatically tells you how good of a person you are, right? Because nobody with a big following could ever just be a piece of shit who happens to amass an echo chamber of sycophants, am I right?
He's out of line, but he's right.
And there's a wonderful scene with little Ashley, who we've seen nary from in these last few episodes. So little Ashley walks up to the preacher and
just put more people who identify as LGBTQ+ in higher positions beyond the choir director.
I swear the pastor looked at her and he was like,
No.
That's right. Little Ashley asks him, why aren't there more A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z, plus, ampersand, pound sign, and any other stupid symbol we can throw in, alphabet representation in positions of leadership at the church. And he's like,
that's why you laying on your back looking at the roof of the church.
And he goes powder on her.
Play that shit.
So at this point, Will tells Hillary about Carlton's drug use, and she tells Will, as he's getting ready to eat chicken and waffles, which sounds fucking delicious, I don't think I had breakfast today, to go talk to Carlton immediately. I'll play it warm for you, right? And then the bitch jumps on the phone. She's like, hey, can you come meet me? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, bitch, you're supposed to be keeping his food warm. What the fuck are you doing? And why are you making all this chicken and waffles if nobody's even going to eat? That's a waste of food. That's one of my most annoying tropes I find in TV shows is like, you'll see him get like a full meal and then they never talk. I'm like, bitch, did somebody eat that food? That looks fucking delicious.
Badasses!
Hillary calls Jazz so she can basically use him again because that's what this Hillary does, like other Hillary, but this one's more, it's updated to modern times, so it makes her look even more like a piece of shit. When Hillary gets in a bad situation, she needs to latch onto somebody to be a savior and get her out of them because she's not capable of getting herself out of anything. So it doesn't involve just walking away and quitting, which is exactly what she did. And then they try to make Kylo out to be the bad guy. I mean, he couldn't even be the bad guy in The Force Awakens, the last dumpster fire, or Rise of Skywalker, because he was so ineffectual and neutered compared to Mary Sue Ray. And that's much the case here with White Kylo and Hillary. She's just a piece of shit. She quits, and then he's like, okay, I have a business to run that you signed a fucking contract for, and he's like, I ain't paying him, fuck him, you know. I mean, this Jazz goes to the influencer house to help her steal her stupid fucking Bel-Air princess sign back, and she's like, I do something myself, and Jazz kind of like looks at her like, wait, what? Like, yeah, you know. And then the $50K kill fee from Kylo for a contract is brought up, and I'm just waiting for Hillary to fucking ask Jazz for that money, and it like somehow like tank his record store that they made a point to tell you he kept open to honor his father. But you know, why not let this piece of shit leech female drag another good strong man down, right? Progressivism. It's fucking wonderful. All right, so Will goes to talk to Carlton. They cut back to that nonsense because what we need in the show is more feelings. And, you know, they sit down. Carlton's sitting there listening to, what was it, Day and Night by Kid Cudi, which I fucking love that song. And he's playing, like, I don't know, some race car game. And he's got the fucking full steering wheel, which I'm like, damn, that looks actually pretty cool. So Will comes to talk to him about that, about church. And, you know, he asks Carlton, you know, he goes, hey, after that ceremony, are you okay? And Carlton's like, I have anxiety. And they talk about his anxiety. And, you know, he's like, he didn't eat that day, blah, blah, blah. He didn't use any drugs, and this scene pretty much just drug on for way too fucking long. So we're back at the influencer house, because I'm kind of jumping around with this, but Hillary and Jazz go to get her sign back, and he asks her, why not borrow the $50K from your dad? And she says she likes to do things on her own. And I'm like,
now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
bitch, when has your character ever done anything on her own, like I alluded back to, except for things that are stupid that get you into bad situations because you're a fucking idiot? Jazz asks Hillary to dinner at this point. She's like, hey, I gotta pay you for helping me somehow. I never gave you gas money for driving me to Hollywood, so how about you come to the hotel I'm staying at? I don't know how she's paying for it, and I just give you some coups instead. Would that be alright? And Jazz is like, fuck yeah, that'd be great. That's better than going out to dinner and having to buy your bitch ass dinner. Huh? Just go run up a bill in your hotel room and fuck you. Alright, cool. At this point, we go back to Will and Jeffrey. Jeffrey brings him the Steele dossier, the Madaddy dossier, and Jeffrey tells him pursuing this, opening this can of worms, this Pandora's box, could affect the whole Biden family, and how dare you bring up Hunter's laptop, you insurrectionist. Phil, Steven, and Jeffrey are in Phil's office. They're debate prepping, and Steven wants Phil to expose the fact that Fred Wilkes cheated on his wife who's dying of lupus with a snow bunny, and how dare he cheat on his dying wife, especially with a snow bunny who they've already made look like a knuckle-dragging idiot, because why wouldn't they? Because we know the roles in this show that the white people get to play, right? Either the communist kid is the only good white person we've seen in this show, literally.
You've got to do better.
But Phil doesn't want to expose Fred Wilkes' affair with the snow bunny, because that will cause repercussions for him, because he broke the law to get Will out of jail and have the whole thing expunged from Will's record. So again, Uncle Phil is just a piece of shit. Let's be honest. This Uncle Phil's a piece of shit. Yeah, he does whatever he wants, what he thinks for the right reasons, and steps on anybody who gets in the way. But they try to paint him out to be some sympathetic character. And I really lost any fucking sympathy for him about, this is the 9th episode? So about 8 episodes ago. Aunt Vivian goes to the interview for the fellowship, and it's old Aunt Viv and Aunt Vi from the original show. Yay, nostalgia.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Viv acts taken aback by the fact that they're sitting there, and she's like, it's usually evil, snarling, racist, patriarchal white supremacists sitting in those chairs who just want to hold me down. And then they tell her, well, it's usually a 25-year-old thought walking in the door. Bitch, who the fuck you talking shit to? And they sit down, and the whole precipice of this, the entire nucleus of this conversation revolves around the fact that it's hard for her as a black woman to, market her paintings of faceless black people to others. So there's that. And then they give her the fellowship. They're like, we were already going to give it to you. Yay! Because it's progressive. Will goes to Uncle Phil to tell him about the Steele dossier, and Phil says, this time we've got him. Blumph is finished. And then passes honor and glory to George Floyd and puts a Ukrainian flag on his Twitter bio. And also he's pissed off that Jeffrey helped Will find his daddy, and then they cry and they hug and they thank St. Floyd of fentanyl. Oh, Carlton walks in on Will, who's playing piano, and Carlton tells Will he's done with the smack because coke is whack, Jack. And Will says he hasn't heard from Lisa, and Carlton says the bitch don't charge her phone. It's normal. You're good, brother. You're good. Then we cut over to the Wilkes residence, and we see Fred yelling at Lisa because of the Philly situation, you know, the whole, oh my God, he shot a gun in the air. And Will hasn't told Lisa the truth about it. Fred's like, look, here it is. Here's his mugshot. Oh, aghast. You know, I mean, it's... the fact that they try to play this up like it's some like super dramatic thing, like he shot a fucking Kennedy, is hilarious. You know, he shot a gun up in the air. It's expunged from his record. And the only, you know, casualty in this was the stupid drug dealer who Jeffrey had offed because he was trying to extort money from him. So who fucking cares? Like, so a drug dealer got killed and whatever. It's but it's a big old secret. Oh my, clutch my pearls. So Lisa's gonna go confront Will about this. Then Jeffrey walks into Phil's office, and Phil gets an attitude with him because Jeffrey left a Hunter Biden laptop at that shop in Delaware, and the Steele dossier got shot down, the Putin price hikes, and Epstein didn't kill himself. So Jeffrey gets fired, but instead of getting fired, he resigns, and the best character in the show is now gone. Is fucking gone. Thanks, Trump.
The then outgoing White House to do. What was your reaction?
Are you fucking high?
And Phil, so we cut back to Phil. He's getting ready to leave for the big debate. The debate, did we mention the fact he has a debate that night against Fred Wilkes, who cheated on his dying wife with a snow bunny? So that makes him the most evil character in the show, next to any white character who's not a communist. All right, sister, we're on the same page. So Uncle Phil tells Aunt Viv that Will doesn't want to know if Antonio Cromartie's his dad or not. So Viv questions Jeffrey's absence as well, and she says, who's going to mind these baby's kids if I'm out painting faceless black people in Europe and you're district attorney? Huh? Who's going to fucking do that, Phil? You self-centered prick.
You chose poorly.
Carlton and Will are talking about ordering food, and again, I wish this show would stop talking about food because I'm fucking hungry. And Lisa shows up, and she shows Will his own mugshot. Tell me this isn't you. Oh my God. Like, bitch.
What?
Bitch.
What?
Shut up.
Shut up, bitch!
Will tells her everything, the whole story, and Lisa plays victim. And the only reason she's mad, really, it boils down to the fact that she let Will smash, and that's why she's mad, because he didn't tell her why he had a mugshot, and she let him hit it. So, I don't know. Way to go, fucking Ray J. So we go to the debate venue now. We're at the debate. The big debate, right? The big debate. Phil's going to debate Fred Wilkes. You know, the evil man who cheated on his dying wife with a snow bunny. So, well. So at the debate venue, the judge walks in, and we know he's already told Fred Wilkes that Phil is a piece of shit. You know, he abused a favor, which is funny because the judge granted Phil this favor just so he could have him in his pocket as DA. So this motherfucker is just as dirty as Phil.
You're both pieces of shit. Yeah, I can prove it mathematically. Actually, let me grab my whiteboard.
So all these characters are just fucking shit people. They're just shit people. Like, they're as bad at people as every person who was on, like, say, Dallas. You know, like, I love Dallas, but those characters, you know, most of them are just bad people. Like, it's like, this is like an entire cast of, like, black J.R. Ewings. Let's put it that way, if you're familiar with that reference. If not, I don't know what to fucking do. Google it. The judge and Phil are sitting there, and the judge is like, you like my favors. And Phil's like, I don't need your favors. And that's it, you know. We cut downstairs. Will and Carlton are trying to get in the back door, and they run into a security guard who won't let them in, and whew, thank God the security guard's not white, because he refuses to let him in. Because if he was white, CNN would be covering this for about a week and be like, oh my God, it was a hate crime. But no, he's Latino, so it's fine.
Fuck that puto!
But thankfully, campaign manager Steven, you know, Dwayne Martin from Above the Rim, gets them in, and they're able to beat Birdie in the big basketball game and avenge Flip Johnson's murder. Is that the right movie? Who wrote this script?
It's me, Austin! Oh, son of a bitch!
So Carlton and Will get upstairs to see Uncle Phil finally, and they tell him, you gotta call off the debate. You gotta call off the debate. You know, the big debate happening between Fred Wilkes and Will. The big debate happening between Phil and Carl. The big debate happening between Flip Johnson and Bertie. The debate between Fred Wilkes and Phil, Uncle Phil. It's going to expose Phil's dirty little secret of the rats and them, that he got Will out of trouble by using a favor for the judge, who then used that favor to turn around and blackmail Uncle Phil. You following me? Phil walks out on stage. Fred shakes Fred's hand. Good handshake. Let's have a good debate. And we're ready for the debate. The big debate's gonna happen now. Here's the big debate, and Phil fucking quits. Phil's like, nah, fuck this. I'm out. He backs out of the debate because now he can go back to defending criminals, and Viv can make more paintings of faceless black people and pretend it's art and do it all over Europe and give dissertations about her faceless paintings. And that's this episode. That's the whole fucking episode right there. That's it. That's the episode. That's how it ends. So you can't knock the hustle. What fucking hustle? Vivian selling shitty paintings that look like garbage. Phil, whatever he's trying to fucking peddle, but he fucking backed out and quit. So they have to neuter him. Jeffrey, who just quits, because him and Phil had an argument, and Phil fired him, but he's like, nah, I quit, fam. Hillary, who's playing jazz and eventually going to probably bilk $50K. Mark my words, that $50,000 is there setting it up. It's going to come from jazz. It's going to cost him his record store some shit. Like, he'll leverage the record store, which will inexplicably only be worth $50,000, which, with his location and everything, it seems like that would be worth more than $50K. You know what I mean? This just seems stupid, lazy writing. But don't think about it, or else, I don't know. So, that's the entire episode. That's it. That's it. There's nothing else to say. It's fucking trash. Oh my god. Oh, so that's it, gang. I'm done. I'm hUsTlE, the place to be reviews. I've been here with all of yous. If I don't see you, have a great day, a pleasant tomorrow. I'll catch you on the next one.
I could do this all.
It's better to burn out than to fade away.